Today we're going to talk about the power of being a good example. Growing up in the Caribbean on the island of Montserrat, I had some really unique lessons as a young child and a young teenager. I remember as a teenager I was working at this rice mill, and while I was working at the rice mill as one of the ship supervisors before going to college, something happened. We were at work one evening, and while we were at work, lo and behold, we started hearing these strange noises coming from the mountains. This mountain range was nestled right next to the mill, about 3 or 4 miles away from the mountain, from the mill, going in the eastern direction. And while we were there, we turned on the radio, and on the radio was this smooth talking voice. She spoke to everybody, and she encouraged everybody, and she disseminated the information. And as she disseminated the information, there was a cool and a calm feeling that came over your heart. And understanding that whatever is going on, somebody is checking on it, and someone will reassure the public about what's going on. That voice didn't only soothe me because I was familiar with it. That voice soothed me because that voice has always been a voice that we constantly hear. Whether it be a hurricane or any disaster whatsoever, that voice was always there on the radio, explaining to us what's going on, encouraging us. Even through the toughest time, that voice has always been there, encouraging us through it, making us laugh, giving us pertinent information that will help soothe our soul as we go through any natural disaster, any crisis, or any situation that would cause you to worry. As I said, I not only choose to trust that voice because it's a voice that I'm familiar with, but it always has been a voice of calm. That person I speak about happens to be my aunt, happens to be my father's sister. But she's so good at what she does. It just always stuck with me through every single situation and everywhere I am, that the best thing you could ever do for anybody during a time of crisis, the best thing you can do to anybody during a time of hardship is to be that voice of hope, to be that voice that shares hope. Not that person that finds fault and complains. Not that person that destroys who is trying to make the right decisions. Not that person who comes in and be quite adversarial and comes in and create hardships when there is already devastation. But be that voice of hope. That person that shares a word of encouragement, that person that shares hope, that person that helps other people excel. And we're going through a tough time globally. And as we deal with each and every single person in this huge global village of ours, seeing that we're connected with all the strands and the fabrics that creates a global community, making us part of this system we refer to as globalization, whether it be in terms of our beliefs, whether it be terms of our agriculture, whether it be terms of our supply chain, whether it be in terms of our economy, in terms of our travel, in terms of our education. We are all connected all around the world, and we so happen to be going through something right now that's affecting everybody, from the smallest of child to the oldest of adult. We all deal with it differently. And because we all deal with it differently, it's great to have good, shining examples. Good examples that are examples of hope. So I want to encourage you as you go out every single day. Remember one key fundamental fact. We all see the same sunrise, but we all see it from a different horizon. That means what's going on is impacting and affecting each and every one of us. Some of us might be able to smile a lot more than others because what happens, we are prepared ourselves spiritually, we are prepared ourselves psychologically, we are prepared ourselves physically, financially, we are prepared ourselves emotionally to weather storms that most people cannot weather. But that doesn't mean that what's happening does not impact each and every one of us. So refrain from having the desire to go and use every form of social media to tear apart what somebody else is doing to help and what somebody else is doing to create a better situation for others. What we're going through is very unique. We've never traveled this road before, and there is no person here on God's green earth that has all the answers. That means every single person will have to work together, and some things will be sheer trial and error. Some things are just best calculative guess as to what needs to be done. And if they don't work, it immediately takes them that idea back to the drawing board. But I firmly believe as we all work together, and as we all grow together, and as we all come together in this melting pot we call our earth, and we work together, we can all get through this. So be that voice of hope. Be that voice of reason. Be that voice that offers a helping hand. It's no time for politics, as I would call it. It's no time for the left side or the right side. It's no time for party differences. It's a time where every single person it's going to have to use the proverbial saying that we all say, we need all hands on deck. Everybody will have to work together. Every child will have to do their part to help their parents. Every parent will have to do their part to help their child. Every teenager will have to do their part in their families, and every worker will have to do their part at work. Every employer will have to do their part to help their employees, and every employee will have to do their part to help their employer. Every community will have to do its part to help every single state or every single country, and every country or every single state or community will have to do its part to help every member of those communities. We are at a crossroad, and this is a very unique place to be. But I firmly believe that if we all work together and if we all be shining examples, if you go to the grocery store and you see that somebody can't pay for something and you could be a blessing, be a blessing. And when you're a blessing, you don't have to put it on Facebook. Nobody has to know. It just has to be between you and your Creator. When you could help somebody in terms of their schooling because you have a little higher IQ than most people, or you have a sense of understanding than their parent or someone that they're looking to for help, help them. And no, you don't have to be next to them to help them. You could use things like Zoom and Google Hangout and Facebook Messenger and FaceTime and WhatsApp and all of those other mediums that are there. Mediums that we use to communicate with each other via text message or via video messages. We could use those very same mediums to help others. Yes. A lot of people may not have traveled this technological road or may not have traveled down this technological path before. And a lot of them might be nervous, might be frustrated, and everything else. But we have to bear in mind with each person, if you don't know how to use technology and someone is trying to help you to learn, just remember, you'll have to learn to help them help you. That means you have to learn to breathe. You have to learn to calm yourself down. And you have to learn to realize they're probably as frustrated as you are because they're teaching you something that they're accustomed to doing and you can't do it, and don't make it any harder. So come into it with a teachable spirit. Come into it with a teachable attitude. Come into it with the attitude of learning. And as we all come together and we all be shining good examples, we will all come out of this on top. So go out there today and have an awesome growth day. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button below. Hit the subscribe button below. And when you hit the subscribe button, don't forget to select the bell, because by selecting the bell, it will notify you when I add another video. I will try and add one video every week. Have an awesome growth day and God bless you.